father. I don't have a dog to keep people away from me. I have a dog, so I have my father with me all the time. That is an act of love which you know very little about. You proceeded to assault my sexuality. You have the temerity to assault someone's sexuality, a man's sexuality, given who you lay next to. None of that had anything to do with.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Line abundance. What do you think about what D.L. Hughley's response to what Monique had to say about him on stage?
Alright, well, for the first thing, D.L. Hughley he's calm. He's not reacting out of emotions or anything. You could tell he's kind of upset with it a little bit, but he's still, he's in frame. He's speaking calmly. Monique, I mean, we didn't play the Monique version when she was on stage, but y'all might have seen it before. If not,
everybody's seen that shit.
Right, so she was all over the place. You see, she was talking about, y'all with me, I'm mad. They had their feet at my table. He basically addressed everything she was talking about. He was like, you invited me, and you know what? Females do twist the truth all the time. Like, if you think that's something new, that's old news. So, my response to D.L. Hughley, I believe he's telling the truth.
I agree, because Monique kind of pointed out, I guess, at the show that she would kind of mention about how he attacked a black woman and whatnot. But basically, based off his response, he basically said that he hasn't even physically or he hasn't spoken to her in person or even on the phone ever since for like years, basically. So basically, and every type of beef that she had was with the company, because let's just be real, it's business. If you want to do the same thing that I'm doing, and I basically if I pull rank or if I put my foot down and not get my way, you can't be mad at that. Business is business.
Right.
And I think that's what Monique is kind of missing out on. And she wants to make it a big deal about black, attacking a black woman.
What kind of shit is that?
It has nothing to do with gender or anything like that. It has to do with money, and it has to do with rapport. At the end of the day, if you feel like you got that wrong, you should have just went ahead and sued, the promoters or anything like that, or to drag D.L. Hughley's name, another black man, and to go ahead and do the typical black woman shaming language, trying to say that he's like homosexual or gay.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
What does that say to your fans or to your people who respond to you?
Hell no. The hell on.
A bigger picture that D.L. Hughley actually brought up was the fact that he fucking about the fact that her husband is homosexual. That was kind of like, he didn't dive into it too much, but he basically just said like, how are you gonna talk about homosexuals or even try to make it slide? Because it's true, a lot of black women are quick to call straight black men homosexual, but then they have homosexual friends, or they condone the homosexual lifestyle. It appears that she might be possibly with a man who's living a secret life, because she is in an open relationship. Not saying that a woman and a man can't be in an open relationship and be hetero, but at the same time, the fact that he hasn't been with any other woman, and then there's a lot of people murmuring in Hollywood that that maybe he might be suspect, and then all of a sudden D.L. Hughley drops this like bomb. Maybe there's a little truth to that, because when he began to scared to get like a lawsuit or anything like that, even though he didn't necessarily say that, but the fact that he was kind of bold enough to kind of say that, and it almost kind of sounds like there's a little bit of hint of truth to that, more than D.L. beyond the down low or something like that, just because that's his fucking his initials for his real name. So what I just kind of feel that it's kind of ironic is that at the end of the day, he was right. He did say that she was trying to womanize black femininity by trying to, put him as a sellout or a coon, and then try to say he's a homosexual. So he tried to take out his black card, his sexuality. She even kind of low-key was talking shit about the dog. Poor little dog, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, might be a pit bull or something. I don't know what type of dog it is, but still, like, dog ain't do
dogs
nothing.
are loving creatures.
Right, dog ain't do nothing. She over here talking about the dog, but
Emotional damage.
sure, I'd be kind of mad if I came to a comedy show and somebody was basically just talking shit. She kind of sound like somebody's old ass auntie, like coming over kind of drunk, just talking shit about some nigga that she mad at. You know, you ain't really trying to hear that shit, but you gotta hear that shit because you know what I'm saying. She in your like grandma living room. She was talking shit.
Right.
You know, you just kind of just had to hear that shit. Like, oh shit, here she go, right? And then you gotta listen to it, and then like you know you try to walk away, and then she try to like hold you and try to like tell you about this shit. Like that's how I kind of felt like when I was watching Monique talk all that bullshit because all that shit didn't mean fucking nothing. Like it's the same old typical like put downs, but you know, yeah.
Just like a woman.
I agree with you as far as I definitely think she was definitely out to bash Hughley. Like she was doing everything to like turn the crowd against him.
Right. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I mean, you know, her ego got the best of them, and I think sometimes a lot of black women, they're willing to be, you know, to get their way so much that they're willing to like burn bridges and just do things out of emotion.